tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling, man? It's been a few weeks. Man. I have been busy, to say the least, man. To say the least. But I'm back with another live. I told y'all lives were gonna get a little bit slimmer. You know, I was gonna keep posting vids, but the lives are probably gonna go down a little bit because I got some other things going on, other things I need to attend to, other things I need to focus on, other things that I'm trying to pursue outside of YouTube and doing these streams. But nonetheless, I love y'all niggas, so I'm gonna continue to pull up as much as I can, God willing. And we're gonna have a lot to talk about today, a lot to discuss, a lot to react to. I'm telling y'all right now, things are looking a little iffy. Things are looking a little iffy. And I'm gonna be honest. A couple weeks ago, or about a week ago, I was looking at this whole Reggie Carroll situation, like, man, you know, something unfortunate happened, you know. Somebody, you know, some wrong place, wrong time. Probably was on some, you know, something happened. My assumption, oh, you know, they're probably drinking, and, you know, something happened and a gun went off, or there's an argument that went too far, and, you know, somebody, you know, did something in the heat of the moment. I'm thinking something, because, you know, it was such random news to get that I felt like something had to have happened mistakenly. You know, something had to have happened where it was something that just was like, oh my God, like this was an accident. It didn't mean to get this far. You know, things got heated. I thought it was gonna be that, but nonetheless, as new information has emerged from the Mississippi DA, who we will get to in a second, not only was Reggie Carroll murdered, but how he was murdered seems to be very vicious, very intentional, and not a mistake in the slightest. Not only did we find out well, I found out. I don't know if everybody else found out, but if you have been keeping up with the Reggie Carroll situation and, you know, trying to keep up with certain news outlets, I've been watching Fox 13 Memphis. They've been keeping up with the Reggie Carroll situation. They posted a couple videos on YouTube. If you've been keeping up, they revealed not only the residence belonging to a LLC that is registered to Cat Williams and his clothing brand, but this just wasn't some random stop on tour where they went to a house, or this wasn't just some random, oh, you know, Cat Williams' house, let's go over here, we just partying and something happened. It has now been discovered that these two individuals, Reggie Carroll and Trenton Williams, I think his name is is that his name? Trenell Williams. They lived in that house together. They were what the DA explained to be roommates. Now, although they revealed that these two were roommates, they also did not disclose what happened. I don't know if they actually got a statement of what happened. I don't believe that there was anybody else there, because they are saying that this incident was isolated to these two and that nobody else was there, which is even harder to grasp if you are the family of Reggie Carroll, because you will want to know what happened, and not just from the person that did its mouth. You don't want to hear his most likely skewed version of the events, because he inevitably is going to try to clear himself or somehow bring a defense to what he did, even though it has been said, it's been confirmed that Reggie was killed with a shotgun. It has not been confirmed how many times he was shot. Last night on the 5150 show, Corey said that he was told that Reggie was shot 5 times with a shotgun. You don't even need to shoot a bear in the wild 5 times with a shotgun before the bear is put down. You don't have to shoot a gorilla 5 times with a shotgun before it gets the message. If it is true that Reggie Carroll was shot 5 times with a high-powered weapon, such as a 12-gauge shotgun, I hope, and this is regardless of however it went down, I hope that the man who did this stays exactly where he's at currently. There's no excuse for that. I could see if there was a situation where, you know, and here's the thing, I'm going based off of things that people are saying. The people that are close to Reggie or were friends with Reggie, hung around Reggie. I'm not just going off my opinion of what I've seen on the internet by Reggie. You know, I'm not going off his social media page. I'm not going off of, you know, his appearance on the 5150 show. I'm going off of what people are saying about this man. One of the things that Corey said about him was that he is a wild boy. Craig said the same thing. There's been times where they've had to grab him up or attempt to grab him up in situations. So even if it was a situation where Reggie was being violent and he decided that he was going to punch on this guy, I think one shot from a shotgun would stop a person. I'm just assuming. I'm not going to act like I know what it's like to get shot with a shotgun, but I can only give an educated guess and say that one shot will do it. And then you bring up the topic of a crime of passion. Listen, man, a crime of passion. First of all, this is another reason why it's so unfortunate that Reggie isn't here to speak his own truth, because narratives get to spring up. And I went to Fox 13 Memphis YouTube page. I'm going to show you guys in a second, so don't you go nowhere. But I went to their YouTube page, and after them explaining what the situation was, I think the DA used the wrong words, calling them roommates. You know, Reggie Carroll was, I believe, how old was he? 50 what? 53, 52, something like that. And just leaving things up for interpretation leaves room for narratives to get started. And I see people saying, you know, stupid shit like, oh, they weren't roommates, they were lovers, and it was a crime of passion, they were on the DL, all this other stuff. People got to understand, man, that narrative, as much as you want to believe certain scandals, such as, you have to remember, man, it is not 1990. It's not even the early 2000s. It's hard out here, man. And if there is a person who is in a position to, you know, make life a little less hard for his comrades, for his people, let's say Reggie Carroll and this other guy who was the one who murdered him were not so well off to the point where they had, you know, the ability to afford their own place, or if they just, or if they just got helped out by a friend, and Cat got so much money where you say, you know, I got a house in Memphis, while we not on tour, y'all can stay there and y'all ain't got to worry about having to pay no rent or no shit like that. I own the house, or not even own the house, it was rented, but as far as it even being rented, Cat being somebody who has the reputation of helping a lot of people despite, you know, what's surrounding this situation right now or any controversy in the past, he has had people speak on his behalf about how much he helps people. So that was the first thing I thought about when I heard them say that, oh, these guys were roommates. I felt like, oh, well, these are both Cat's people. He brings both of these guys on tour with him. They help him as much as he helps them. I don't find it to be out of the ordinary for him to be like, okay, I got these two guys right here. I could set them up here. They ain't got to worry about that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not going to just put something on people's jackets, and then even worse when somebody's gone. And also the narratives about, you know, Reggie being a bully, and, you know, even people insinuating that he deserved what happened to him without even knowing what actually happened. I think that is putting a negative light over this man's life and putting him in the, you know, realm of people who don't deserve any type of condolences or love or respect when there's people who clearly loved and respected him. I didn't see his peers come out and say, oh, well, you know, Reggie's wild, so, you know, some of this shit, you know. No, every single person that has had something to say in regards to whether they were a comedian or a friend of his, family member, were all saying that he didn't deserve this. They're all looking for answers as to why this took place. So, with that being said, last night, Corey went on the 5150 show, and this kind of caught my attention because I didn't see this, but of course, you know, I guess if you're friends with somebody and you're in the same circles, people are going to be talking. I guess he was sent a post by another comedian. I think his name is Henry Jones, comedian by the name of Henry Jones. He posted up what I believe to be a flyer. I didn't see the post because when you clicked on the actual link from Google to his page, it says post could not be loaded, which means the post was deleted. But I'm guessing because when I went to his profile, I saw several different flyers for different things. He probably posted a flyer for an event, and the event attached to it was a fundraiser he claimed was for Reggie Carroll. Now, Corey let it be known that the family had no idea about it. They were not involved with it. And to be honest, if that is the case, you kind of look crazy, my guy, especially somebody who was friends with Reggie when he was alive. It seemed like he was. He had a couple posts up with Reggie, him and Reggie hanging out and, you know, doing stuff like that. So he was sending his condolences, but also a lot of people like to profit off of things like that. And people know how profitable death is when you announce something in somebody's passing, you know, whether it be a posthumous album, whether it be merch, whether it be whatever it is, an event, a fundraiser, a GoFundMe. People take tragedy to heart, and it often causes them to support different causes that they think are in support of that person and could not, you know, be further from the truth. So that post ended up getting taken down. He called that out, but he also called out the DA, and I'm going to play the video of what the DA had to say about this so far, because of course we don't have all the details. They're not revealing everything to the public. They just have certain details that they can give, which was the fact that these guys lived together at the time and that it was an isolated incident that had nothing to do with anybody else, just those two, and that the person who was responsible for Reggie Carroll's murder, he was supposed to have an arraignment, but it got pushed back, which also raised some eyebrows. So we're going to watch some of this. Shout out to y'all, man. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Shout out to the GMS fam. I see you, Simo. I forgot to shout y'all out in the beginning. Hot one. I see you, Vel. Queen Kale's in the building. One Fast Star, Still Elite, CDT Beats. Black Gold is here. What's going on, man? I appreciate y'all. Yeah, we're going to get into it. Let's first hear the news report from Fox 13 Memphis as we get into it, if it'll play.
One else.
Last week in North Mississippi, the district attorney there said today that the suspect, Ternal Williams, and victim, Reggie Carroll, were roommates.
Fox 13 Sierra Jordan joins us live from South Haven tonight. Sierra, you've gotten more details from investigators, in fact, within the past few hours.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I...
Oh, they putting ads on, you know what I'm saying? I got to deal with ads on my own channel. Jesus, man. Also, by the way, I got out of YouTube Premium just for that fact. I can't do it. YouTube, why are y'all charging $20 for YouTube Premium? Y'all have no business charging people $20 for YouTube Premium. Y'all are stealing from people. Stealing. All right, let's get back to it. You're robbing the people.
That's right, Darcy. DeSoto County District Attorney Matthew Barton says Williams and Carroll both lived in that home where Carroll was shot and killed 1 week ago. He says comedian Cat Williams was not involved with that shooting. Now, we know Carroll was touring with Cat Williams, and sources tell us Ternal Williams was working security on that tour. But Barton confirms Carroll does not own the home on Burton Lane. It's actually a rental property. But Fox 13 found a notice to vacate that included Onyx Owl LLC, and that is Cat Williams' clothing line. The DA says this will be a lengthy and thorough investigation, and he urges the public to be patient.
Lengthy and thorough.
I do want to dispel a few, I don't know, rumors that may be going around.
So, of course, somehow Corey found a way to bring Backdoria into it. Let me know. It's up to you. Do you think that this DA looks moist or looks Backdoria or sounds like it? I don't know what the conspiracy behind that is, but he just, you know, he likes to point out what he believes to be is gay. But anyway, let's keep going.
This was an incident between two roommates that knew each other. One of them is from California, one of them is from Maryland. This is not an indication that there's a problem in that community or neighborhood. This is not indicative of a violent crime issue in our city. It's just an isolated event that's limited to those two people involved.
Now, Williams was supposed to have his first court appearance today, but Barton says the defense asked to hold off for another week. He will stay in jail with no bail. Now, coming up at 6, more from the DeSoto County District Attorney about this investigation.
Now, I'm going to fast forward to the part where Corey actually speaks on this situation, because I want y'all to hear what he had to say about the guy or the person who was doing the fundraiser. But also, it's important to note his disdain for how they presented this to the public. Automatically letting people know that there was nobody else involved, but you can't give us full details on the situation. You made sure to let the people know that nobody else was involved, but you can't tell us what happened, why it happened. You can't give us any details other than that. And to some people, it may feel like, oh, maybe because Cat is somebody who has, enough money or influence to, get his name escape from this situation because he wasn't there. But it's weird. And when I heard him say, and you'll hear it in this clip, when I heard him say, as far as it being a hit, then it started raising my eyebrow a little bit, because even though to some people it may sound kind of crazy, like a hit, why would he put a hit out on Reggie? Like, what was Reggie doing, or what did he have on Cat to get a hit put out on him? You know what I'm saying? Like, that just sounds crazy. It sounds like a movie. But you never know what is happening behind the scenes. You never know. But this is some of what Corey had to say about this whole situation.
Let me start off by saying this. It's in the news about, my brother Reggie Carroll and everything, comedian who was murdered in Mississippi. And I want to tell people this because I know that a lot of you don't know this about me. I'm a choice soldier of God, brother. And listen to me when I tell you this, because I want you to know in case you approach me again. And you haven't done anything bad. I'm talking about comedians starting a let's hustle Reggie just let me tell you now, I'm not the one who is about hustling brothers who passed on unless it's sincere and for the family, okay? It ain't no coincidence I worked Baltimore this weekend. It's no coincidence I worked. So me and Reggie brother are united. We've met and we talk on the phone. He told me he don't know shit about no motherfucking fundraisers or none of this shit. So all the comedians that are trying to hustle the death of somebody, you have to understand, I'm not the one for that.
I'm going to show y'all real quick, just so y'all get some context of the post that was made. If I can see, there it is. Here it is. So here's the guy, Henry Jones. This is his Instagram. What I found first was an article. And not an article, but it was a link to his Instagram. When I typed in Reggie Carroll fundraiser, the first thing that popped up was Baltimore mourns loss of Reggie Carroll, Red Grant, and Cat Williams declare something. And then at the bottom of it was the Instagram of Henry Jones that say, "Come on out, come on out this Sunday and support our guy that support something." What do you say? Hey, either way, I can't read it. There's shit in the way. I don't give a fuck. Either way, he put some shit out there saying that there was a fundraiser for Reggie Carroll. But when you clicked on it, it went away. It was not there. So clearly he had the post taken down.
I'm not the one for that. If you want to get at the family and tell the family, hey, we want to do something for Reggie, and you know what I'm saying, just be on the up and up with whatever you doing. If I feel like you are legit, I might turn you on to his.
Age Bandit said Minneapolis niggas weird as fuck, except the 321s. Huh? Come out to Minneapolis and say that to somebody. The fuck?
brother, because I feel like when you collect money in the name of somebody that passed, don't you think the family needs to know? That's real. I'm just saying, everybody who has intent to do promotions with Reggie as, oh, we doing this show for Reggie, just don't involve me unless you have talked to the family and the family know what's going on. Because
Hey, the informationalist, I was watching that live yesterday. Some told me to click on that live when I just randomly opened my YouTube and I seen Emrek was live talking about the Cameron and Dame situation. And while I'm watching it, he started talking about exactly what you're saying right now. And I was like, damn, that does kind of tie together. Refresh my memory, put it in the chat what he was saying and how he was tying those things between the Cameron story and Kat and Reggie. Put that in the chat for me to refresh my memory so I can expound on that, because I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because I would have never spoke on it during this live because I totally forgot about it. But please type it in the chat so I can speak on it.
see, my brother is in a situation where he was murdered, and he was murdered in Mississippi. You understand, for the family, they have to get the body from Mississippi to Baltimore. I mean, I'm a motherfucker. Gee, I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't standing up and putting my part in. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's people out here who really putting in work with the family to try and make sure our brother, his shell, is sent off right.
I think the body is back. I think so.
You know what I mean when I say that? Like, see, the funeral is for the living, but this body we in, when our soul exits this body, especially with black people, they like to have funerals where you feel better. There's closure. You send the body off right. And I'm saying, like, for the people that's really putting in work to help send our brother body off right, we don't want to hear no sucker shit fundraiser that ain't really going to the family that got to deal with all this shit. Everybody who really know that man know he got kids. If you ain't finna throw nothing on the books, don't call me about sucker shit. I'm not a sucker nigga. I actually think I'm a real nigga. I ain't saying I'm perfect, because I know I'm not, but I ain't with that hustle no dead man body shit. Because if Reggie was alive and you was hustling him, he'll be right there at you looking for his.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine what's going through their heads? He's not right there with them. Like, that must be driving his mom, his lady, his kids.
His kids?
Yeah.
They know they dad is out there in Mississippi and then died a horrific
That they don't even
situation because from what I understand, motherfucker, dog, you get hit with a shotgun 5 times.
It's
How the
over.
fuck, what the fuck? What?
Now, speaking of Dame Dash, while this ad is going by, Cameron just posted something on Instagram going in on Dame Dash for what he had to say about him. I'll talk about it in a little bit.
That?
A
I
12
got a
gauge.
shotgun. I know what a shotgun do.
Oh,
I know what a shotgun do. Who the fuck shot somebody 5 times with a shotgun? That's a crime of passion or a motherfucking hit. I'm just being honest, man. I ain't never thought two men who know each other can get into it where a shotgun get let off 5 times.
that don't sound right.
That's emotional shit.
That's scary.
You know,
I'm saying this for a reason. I don't know if it's a fact, but that's what I heard.
You know,
have you ever shot a shotgun, D?
I have. I got a semi-automatic
Who the
shotgun.
fuck shoot a shotgun 5 times?
What's the purpose?
That's a passionate crime.
That's a motherfucker that was scared. Because we
I
all.
said that for a reason, dog.
'Cause
Because
we-
I believe it's all gonna add up to something that makes sense. I wasn't there. I don't know. Who the f buck a shotgun 5 times?
Because let me tell you, Reggie, the type of motherfucker where if you do shoot him and hit him, he's still coming. You get what I'm saying? So
Not with a shotgun.
not with a shotgun,
See, a
right?
shotgun will
yeah.
knock you down.
Yeah.
I know what a shot.
This is another kind of reason why some people try to put the yes man title on Craig, because it doesn't seem like he necessarily stands on certain points. Now, maybe he thought about it in the moment. about, hey, you know, if you shoot at Reggie, keep going. Maybe he was talking in a sense of, a handgun, and with the, just forgetting in that split second that we talking about a shotgun, and he was like, oh, well, yeah, you right, it's a shotgun. Because in reality, I don't care how tough you are. I don't care what city you from. I don't care what you rep, what your set is. If a nigga hits you in your chest with a shotgun, you're not getting back up and charging him. There's nobody, there's no human on earth that is, nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you that big African dancing nigga that eat food all day looking crazy as hell. If that nigga got hit with a shotgun in his stomach, he's not getting up and busting any dance moves and eating no macaroni and cheese chicken combos. All right, that's all I'm saying. But let's keep going.
Shotgun here. That's why I got one. Everybody who love me, get behind me, because I'm pointing this motherfucker.
The information list said, peace. Allegedly, when Cam told the story about slamming Cat in some sort of green room, Cam referenced his friend Rec being a witness and or involved in the slam incident. Oh, okay, yeah. That's right.
That way.
In Mississippi, they got this defense. I think this is going to be interesting when we when they figure out the detail. It's called imperfect self-defense, where you don't have to have a legitimate. It doesn't have to be a legitimate reason for you to kill somebody, but if you could prove, even if in error, that you were reasonably in fear for your life, most of the times you could beat a murder charge in Mississippi. It's called imperfect.
But let me tell you something.
And he said unaware wreck was a different one. Allegedly, Cat's crew caught wind and thought it was the wreck that was associated with Reggie and the comedy brand they were putting together. Reggie was told he was not.
All I know, I'm only speaking the facts, because I don't know. But let me tell you something. When that man who they said killed Reggie, let me say that again. That man who they said killed Reggie, arraignment got pushed back. I said,
yeah, you already know.
Some shit going on.
Yeah.
I said, there's some shit. What really happened? I don't know. I can't say. I would be a fool to say. But okay, they say they got a man and he charged with this. But then when it was time to arraign him, it got pushed back.
Yeah.
What that mean? What that mean? I tell you something else that I saw on TV where I'm like, what the fuck is this? I ain't never seen a DA say what somebody ain't, and the investigation has not been closed.
Right.
That means
What the fuck is that? And he looked moist in a mother.
They still working on it.
Nah, man, that dude, I know of
That dude who went up there and talked about what somebody ain't and what somebody not.
Oh, that white boy, yeah.
I was like, who is that? They say it's the DA. And so is it the DA of Mississippi? This is a dumb motherfucker.
But
what the fuck is you talk about what somebody not? And I'm not talking about what somebody is. But have you ever seen somebody come forward before the is closed and say what somebody is not? Thanks, brother.
Right. Yeah, they was.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
I'm like, so they know for sure it's not this. And I don't know. But I'm just saying, what the fuck kind of show for TV is this?
Now, it's still too soon, I think.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I know my brother passed. I know that he got to get from Mississippi to Baltimore, where his peoples is at.
Yeah.
So if you out here with a fundraiser or some sucker shit and his people don't know about it and they ain't getting the licks because they gonna need some help to make sure the brother's sent off right. It don't just happen. You have to obviously come up with ways to handle this.
Now, I want to read this to Atim, is that how you say it? Atim 1993 said, on the surface level, just look at Reggie's character as a person. What could he have did to enrage his roommate? I wonder. Here's the thing. I can't really judge his character because all I saw was him on the internet. And then, he's a comedian at that. So most of the time, a lot of comedians put up a character. not necessarily a front, but they put up a character. It's a character that they play for entertainment's sake. And they can be one way on camera or on stage, and then, behind closed doors when they're not performing, they can very much so be, a different type of individual, with the people that they love and care about. I think Reggie he might be the person that could have got too aggressive, just based off of what I've seen on social media as far as him, when he did his appearance on the 5150 show. He was super aggressive when he was talking to Marcus, the way he was pointing, the way he was, he could have been inebriated that night. He could have been drinking something that night, so he could be a little different. So that you got to think about the factors in that as well. But I don't know. I can't really speak to Reggie's character as a person because I didn't know Reggie. And like I said earlier, the people who did know Reggie, the people who loved and cared about Reggie Carroll, those people obviously had good things to say about him. And not only had good things to say about him, they also are feeling the tragedy behind his death. And I'm seeing the reactions. I'm seeing how people are, speaking on him. And to me, that shows me that a lot of people had real love for that guy. So that's why I say some of the people that are bringing up, him being a bully or him acting this way or, insinuating that he may have deserved it. From what I'm hearing from the people who knew him and who were around him, it seemed like he's one of those guys that might be misunderstood. Maybe his aggression or his passion is misunderstood by some people. Maybe he's one of those guys that's only a bully to the bullies. Or maybe he's the guy that'll call somebody out who's trying to fake it behind the scenes or try to act a certain way. I don't know. Him saying he ran Ryan out of, and here's the thing too. I'm just giving you an example. My personal opinion, I think, and especially after the Ryan situation, how he described that situation, like there's no excuse for a guy. Because I've seen people make the comments like, "Oh, how is he not? How is he a bully for checking some weird shit at the door?" It's like it's not up to you to kick somebody out of a public establishment because you uncomfortable with their sexuality. That's the one thing I hate about people is when they don't allow people to just live their life in public, like somewhere where you don't have no control over this. If it's my house, if it's my event, if it's my environment, if it's something I put together, hell yeah. If I don't want you in here, if I don't feel comfortable with you being in here, get the fuck out. And I don't care how I look. I don't care who get mad. I don't care if you call me phobic, whatever it is. If it's my shit, I'm going to control my shit. And that's just me giving an example. But if it's a public establishment, if you got a comedy club and Ryan walked in with some nigga that was gay or somebody who was trans or something like that, or I think it was somebody who was trans that they came with or whatever, and you immediately start getting buck and trying to, get the person to leave, that's what, like, it's a textbook definition of being a bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the textbook definition of being a bully. You see some shit that you don't agree with. Nobody did anything to you. Nobody threatened you. Nobody did anything to you at all. Nobody said anything to you foul. Nobody did anything. Just somebody's presence made you feel like you needed to regulate something that you didn't need to. And it wasn't asked upon you. Now, I'm not trying to speak foul against the dead. God rest his soul. I'm just speaking on what I know. I don't know that man. All I owe him is respect for his life and, not to try to speak down or tarnish his name in that way. I'm just speaking on what I see and what I've heard. And that was from his mouth. If I'm going to give an honest opinion about somebody, if it's going to be something that, especially after they pass, it's going to be from something that they've actually said. I'm not going to go based off of rumors or what social media thinks or what the comment section thinks of a person. I'm going to give you my honest opinion about that. Now, I can't for the life of me think what a good reason to shoot somebody 5 times with a shotgun would be, unless they were somebody who killed one of my family members, somebody who abused a child physically or sexually, somebody who did something heinous. You would have had to do something so egregious, so incredibly asinine for me to even think that I'm justified to shoot you with a shotgun, pump, shoot again, pump, shoot again, pump, shoot again, pump, shoot again. He emptied the clip. Shotguns take what, 5 shells, right? They take 5 or 6 from my knowledge. And I've shot a shotgun several times. They ain't no little gun. It's not something that you can just shoot on the fly. You have to have form with that shit, because the kickback on a shotgun is ridiculous, depending on what type of shotgun you have. I've shot a 12 gauge. I've shot an automatic shotgun. I've shot several different guns, but a shotgun is the one gun that has left my shoulder bruised and in pain for 2 weeks. So you have, trust me, I know the power of a shotgun. There is no excuse. We need more information. His family needs more information first and foremost, because I feel like they've been left in the dust with this whole entire situation. Craig said that he believes his body is back in Baltimore, which is a good thing. I'm glad they got him back to his hometown so they can prepare to, send him off the right way. And I apologize for being, for possibly being morbid, but it's like, I wonder how that is if he was shot 5 times with a shotgun. Like, that is just like, it's hard to grasp. His family has to go and view his body before all this even happens. To think about the type of trauma and horrific visuals that whoever it is that had to identify his body. You got to understand this. The person that did this, there needs to be answers for it. So you have to think about, like, that's why I'm not going to use any of that stuff against him unless it comes out that he did something horrible to deserve that, which I wholeheartedly believe that is not the case. But unless that happens, that man has to rot in prison. He has to rot in prison. There's no other place he should be. And if we find out some off-the-wall information about how this went down, and if this was a possible setup or a hit or something like that for some goofy ass shit or some stupid shit, oh my God! What Kendrick say? Watch the party die. Give it to every single one of them in the crew, from Cat on down. Which is also something else I doubt is a thing. I'm not saying I completely doubt it, but I doubt that this was something where, because I take Cat to be a wild person, but Cat has done a lot of wild things over the span of years. Not once have we ever come across a situation where somebody dies as a result to something that Cat did or said or whatever the case may be. I don't take Cat to be somebody who is out of his mind to put his entire career in jeopardy like that. And I pray that we don't hear nothing even more crazy about this whole roommate situation. Because 5 times, you talk about a crime of passion. I don't know. I wouldn't want those rumors or those narratives to be true. One Fast R says, I only seen Reggie one time on the 5150 show, and he turned me off. I really didn't like him, and I can see how he can clash with anyone. he in contact with. Well, that's some of the things that they kind of said or alluded to as far as like Craig and Corey talking about Reggie's character. They've talked about how he's done certain things and, you know, how he's a wild dude and, you know, he'll press people in a second. And, you know, if you're doing something without his knowledge or, you know, trying to profit off his name, he gonna come and he gonna check it. And, you know, he'll be in your pockets about it. Like, he definitely wasn't a scary guy. And like I said, we're going to have to hear more about this story and what took place in this investigation for us to come to a conclusion, because I for the life of me, I can't think of a good reason why somebody would want to shoot somebody 5 times with a shotgun. It does not make any sense at all. Like, no sense at all. None. Either the guy is a complete psychopath or something went down that we just cannot think or comprehend. That is going to shock the shit out of us when it comes out. They say they're doing a deep and thorough investigation of the situation, so we will see. Joe Blast said, Corey said if he smelled bitch on you, he'd come for you. That's a form of bullying to me. Oh, yeah, he said if Reggie smelled, yeah. And that's the thing. Nobody's a god, so you can't just assume somebody's a bitch or somebody is, you know, just because somebody may not hold the same morals as you, and not even morals, but just like the same ideas as you or moves the way that you do, that they're weird or they're outcasts or you got to call them out or they, you know what I'm saying? I hate people like that as well. You'll never catch me attack somebody's individuality because it has nothing to do with me. You as an individual have nothing to do with me. So that's why I don't spend time focused on things that don't concern me, as far as like people's sexuality or things like that. You don't hear me up here trying to constantly talk about LGBTQ shit, because that has nothing to do with me. When there's an agenda involved or when there's things that look iffy, I talk about it, and y'all know that. But you don't see me on here every day talking about that or trying to point stuff out or trying to figure out who's gay, who's not gay. To me, that's people who honestly are living a lie and most of the time need to come out the closet. The niggas you would least expect to be on some gay shit are the niggas that talk about it the most in a way where it seems like they hate gay niggas. It's usually those niggas who be on the DL. And I mean, any conversation can turn into something that has to do with gay shit. You're telling on yourself, in my opinion. I know there's several people that feel differently. Some people think that if you talk about it all the time, that means you're trying to go against, you know, the agenda, or that it needs to be called out. But not one person can tell me what it has done to benefit their cause. Like, nobody can tell me what talking about it all the time has done to suppress the agenda besides talking about it. At some point, you're going to, instead of taking action or trying to find some type of solution, you're going to end up in an echo chamber. And that's exactly what I feel Corey has done with the 5150 show. It is now an echo chamber of a bunch of things that, you know, is riddled with truths and lies and uncertainties and lack of information, which is everybody, because we don't all do the research for everything that we talk about. You know, we don't go on extensive deep dives on Google just to, you know, talk about certain situations, because a lot of us have been through a lot in life and can just, you know, by what you see in the span of events, you can try to, you know, you can call some shit out for how you see it. I've done that on this channel, several times. That's why certain niggas hate me. Is because I can call some shit out without knowing everything. And people will be like, damn, how did he know that was going to happen? Or how did you guess that this was going to go down? Or, you know, I've had situations where I said, oh, this is about to happen or this is about to go down. I could see it. And niggas will respond to it on their channel talking about, this nigga think this finna happen. This nigga, he just talking shit. He trying to cause problems. Next thing you know, it happens because what was happening that I thought was happening was happening. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying I'm right about everything. I'm not saying I'm some type of fucking, you know it all. I'm a hypocrite at times. I've contradicted myself at times. I'm not perfect. I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things that, you know, I've never stepped on this platform, made an opinion about somebody, and then reversed it as to make it seem like I'm better than anybody. Or that I'm a better person, or that I know more, I got more than anybody. I've never done that. I've always dealt with humanity and reality. Glittery Bubble says, what if dude wasn't rational? I know a bunch of dudes that have an arsenal and are the most irrational people I've ever met. Sometimes there's no excuse. Yeah, like I say, either he's a psychotic individual or something crazy happened. OG Mon said 4 to 12 depending on the chamber. Yeah, the one that I shot held 5. The one that I shot held 5 for sure. Joe Blast said, don't make no difference which gun it was. That dude was out for blood and he got it. Yeah. What up, the sensei? Mr. K said, I swear when I heard roommate, I thought Backdoria. And that's another thing. This is why it's also important to watch what narratives you spread to a wide variety of people. Because I can almost guarantee you thought Backdoria when you heard roommate, because this nigga Corey says that if 2 grown-ass men are roommates, they're Backdoria. I promise you. I promise you. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I can almost guarantee you that you thought that because of the narrative that is behind it, led by the 5150 host himself. Because I saw it in the comments, and the first thing I thought about was, God damn. Like, and then it's even more sad because there's people out there that truly believe that Ryan Davis is gay because of the narrative that Corey pushed. Meanwhile, the guy who was Ryan's roommate at the time is literally married and living with his wife and has a whole family. Like, this, it's crazy how a narrative can stick so much that it can be brought up in any other situation, and the first thing people think about is that. And I don't blame y'all. I don't blame me, because I thought about it too. Because it's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it sounds that way. But it is what it is. Let's see. Tim said, Reggie, first words on the 5150 episode. I watched it last night. Oh, his first word. What was his first words? Southern California said, did she get mad? Oh, you talking about the Darlene thing. Grits and Gravy said, has Ryan Davis touched on Reggie's death at all? No, he has not. And I don't think he will. I think Ryan was going to stay clear. And I'm talking about well clear of that. I think when we talk about trying to figure out somebody's character, just based off of how Ryan moves and how he speaks and, you know, the type of way that he thinks, if I'm correct, he's going to be the type of person that he already feels like, all right, well, this nigga died. What else do I need to say? Or what do I need to comment on? Like, the nigga's dead. What can I, you know, what am I going to do? Laugh? What am I going to do? Be like, oh, wow, you know, this is the guy who said he pressed me. Now look at you like, nah, boo-boo. Like, he's not finna do none of that. I think he's just not going to speak on it, acknowledge it, anything. I think even if he has an interview and somebody brings it up, I think he's going to respectfully decline to talk about it. I don't think Ryan's that type of guy. I doubt there will be any comment or anything like that. I could be wrong. I don't know the guy, but just based on what I've seen, possibly. Glittery Bubble says, sounds like P-Valley. What up, King Lukey? Money Mar said, that dude didn't shoot Reggie. He's taking the fall like a soldier with orders. But see, now that's where the conspiracy falls, because if that's the case, the police have to now figure out who all was really there. Because they're saying that it was just them two there. And it only happened between them two. There was nobody else involved. So if he's taking the fall, because clearly it wasn't the shotgun didn't stand up and jump up in midair and shoot Reggie 5 times by itself. Somebody had to do it. If that's the case, the feds have to think about trying to gather who all was there, try to figure out where. And that's another thing. You're in a residential neighborhood. It looks like a nice neighborhood at that. Somebody has a Ring camera. Somebody has video footage. You can't walk past a house these days in the suburbs without seeing a Ring camera or some type of camera. Some type of footage is out there. They have to be gathering something. Somebody got a fucking Tesla on the block that's recording full 360 at all times. Somebody got something. You can't do anything outside without it being caught on camera. You have to be you have to be very lucky to commit a crime in public and not have it be seen on camera. You have to be extremely lucky. And that goes for if you're somewhere in a business area, in front of a restaurant or in front of stores, or whether you're in a neighborhood. So trust me, there's footage, whether it's caught on camera, what happened, or the sounds of what happened. They have something. So I'm probably gonna give it another week, maybe, before we get some more information on this incident. We're gonna see. That's all I can say. Rest in peace to Reggie Carroll, man. Very sad situation. Things like this don't have to happen. Condolences to his family, man. I hope they get the answers that they need and the closure that they need so that they can, move forward with the grieving process and get through it, man. That shit's hard when you lose a family member. You know what I'm saying? And then you have somebody who was, a well-known individual, not regardless if he was a celebrity or whatever you want to label him. He had a lot of love. So I feel like it's important that people, watch how you speak on the dead, man, especially if you didn't know who he was. If it wasn't a well-known thing that he was out here just terrorizing people, then I think we need to lay up on the narratives, because clearly he had a lot of people that loved and cared about him, and they deserve to, grieve in peace, man, and they deserve to, send their loved one off the right way. So we just gonna keep gonna keep it respectful like that. Money Mark said 5 shotgun shots in that neighborhood and nobody called the cops. Nah, son, I ain't buying it. I don't know who called the cops. I don't know where you're getting your information from. Honestly, if you will inform me, because I don't know who called the cops. I don't know how the police were informed of what happened. I gotta find out. They said the cops responded to a call about gunshots in that area. They responded to a man, and they came there and found him. So clearly somebody had to call the police. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to call the police. The shots didn't just echo through the stratosphere, and then cops got some type of echo senses like fucking dolphins and was like, oh shit, shotgun shots coming from the northeast. We need, you know what I'm saying? CTB say, I stay in the sticks and I got cameras watching every angle around my house. This is what I'm saying. Every house in anywhere, whether you in the burbs, even in the hood, I see that shit. It don't matter where you at. Neighborhoods have multiple cameras in it, and it's way too many niggas out here with Teslas sitting in the parking lot, sitting in the parking or in the driveway or whatever, for shit not to be seen. Like, you just adding more cameras. This shit got a 360 camera. That's how they caught the killers of what's that dude's name, man? It was a rapper, man. Some rapper. Damn, I forgot his name. Julio Fulio. Yeah. Some crazy shit like that. That's a crazy ass name. Julio Fulio is a wild ass rap name, but Julio Fulio was gunned down that way, and that's how they found out who the guys was, the skin color, what type of clothes they had on, shoes, what type of ski masks, what type of guns. Them niggas could read tattoos, and all that happened was they ran past a Tesla. If it wasn't for that Tesla, they would have got. I'm telling you, they might have gotten away, might. But because them Teslas, when they just sitting there and they got them 360 camera angle, show all around that motherfucker. Try to do a crime and try to run. See, now niggas can't even run in a certain direction. You got to make sure you look out for Teslas and other cars with cameras on them and shit. You got to run in zigzags and diagonals and B lines and P lines and S lines and shit. Just stop doing crime. How about that? Stop shooting niggas. Stop going out here getting yourself caught up. You're not going to get away with it. I promise you. It's not going to happen. George the Truth says, was the person that they say that killed him was still on the scene? I don't know. I have no idea. But they did make an arrest immediately, so I'm assuming. I don't know. That part of the investigation I did not read. But yeah, other than that, as more information comes in, man, we're gonna give you guys the rundown on that, man. So as I figure out and find out more things, I will keep you all posted. Shout out to y'all for, pulling up to the comments too as well, man. I know it's been a minute. Algorithms trying to push me out. If you don't go live every day or post every day on social media, they try to, push you back in the algorithms, which is kind of crazy. You would think that a certain amount of subscribers, you would be able to at least get your video pushed up to at least 50 to 60% of those people, but they don't care about that. It's all big business and favorites and politics. But shout out to y'all for being here and showing love. Southern California said police have shot spotter on light poles. They know where and when shots were fired. Yeah, I know about that. They got those out here in Minneapolis. I remember when they introduced those. It's like 10 years ago or so or more. They've been around for a while. Yeah, they got those things up on the streets that whenever there's a shot that goes off, basically pings the location of where that is, which is like one of the smartest inventions when it comes to like police trying to stop crime, but it still hasn't stopped shit, and it still hasn't like helped, catch a lot of people. But you are going to get caught if you're outside shooting at niggas, no matter where it is. A camera's on you. You don't need the shot spotter, because there's way too many cameras out here. They not just going to businesses. That's another thing. These stupid niggas out here think that people, like, if you do something at a business, you can just go like the nigga in Minister Society, go in there and just steal the tape, and now you got all the evidence in your hand now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go in the Roscoe's or the Waffle House and ask them for the digital tape of what happened, nigga. You got to go around to every single last store within a 2 to 3 block radius, and even then you would still have to check for Teslas. Niggas gotta try to figure out if a Tesla was on the block, who had a dash cam. You know what I'm saying? Everything is being recorded. You can't get away with shit. I promise you. It's not happening. Now, speaking of trying to get away with shit, known finesser and despicable whore Brittany Renner thought that she was gonna pull the big one and post a damaging video of her baby father, NBA player PJ Washington. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna get him on video while the baby's crying and reaching for me and say, look, the baby's crying whenever he gets with you. He doesn't want to leave with you. He doesn't like you. The baby doesn't love you. I'm the mom. I'm the good mom. I'm the good parent. I do everything and you don't do anything. She thought she was about to get some sympathy She thought she was about to get all those stupid ass chicks on Twitter to get behind her and be like, oh, you see how this is? The baby dad, he ain't shit. Brittany Renner's a good mom. All these moms out here doing everything while the dad ain't doing shit. Bitches, bitches, bitches. Boy, was she wrong. Boy, was she wrong. Brittany Renner posted this video. As a matter of fact, it's hilarious because I'm like, okay, Brittany is not recording this video. Who's recording the video? I hear another voice in the background, and I'm like, oh yeah, she probably got one of her raggedy ass friends, you know, taking the video. She already set it up like, here, all right, I'm recording, take this and record this. And you know how they do. The friends always got to support the delusional fuck shit that they friends doing because they some ain't shit bitches too. So you thinking that that's going on. Come to find out it was her mama. And I was like, that makes even more sense because this bitch acts like this already. She definitely got it from somewhere. Clearly, she got it from her mother. Because her mom is somebody who is supposed to be the person that speaks some type of sense into you, somebody who leads you in the right path, somebody who is there to teach you how to conduct yourself, not just as a human being, but specifically as a woman, how to carry yourself. Yet you're here enabling it, which is why your daughter is in the position she is in today, where she feels like her looks were going to take her further and keep her rich forever. That didn't happen. And then she went on to try to say, you know what, athletes are dumb. If you want to get a bag, if you want to get the paper, if you want to get rich out here without having to work or without having to do anything real, have any real talent or any real gifts in life to do something to make some money, if you just want to be the pretty bitch that just soaks up child support every month, go ahead and get you a ball player. Those guys are dumb as fuck. And then she went and did that. As a matter of fact, she went as far as to be like, you know what, I'm not going to wait until this nigga's in the NBA. I will go to his college basketball games. 26, 27 years old, watching the 18-year-old PJ Washington play for Kentucky like a fucking predator watching its prey, like a hawk circling above a lake waiting to grab a sea bass. Like the literal predator sitting in a tree in camouflage waiting for this nigga Arnold Schwarzenegger to show up. Where's the predator? Where's the predator? He has a clocking device. We can't see him. Where's the bitch? I know the money hungry bitch is in the tree with the cloaking. The bitch is cloaking. That's the voice I would use every time I see a gold digging bitch. Wait, stop. Get away from her. She is a predator. The bitch is a predator. She wants your money. Your semen and your money. Just freak bitches out all day. That's how you scare the hoes. Show up talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, let's play some of this video so y'all can see this bullshit. Look at this stuff.
Okay, hold on, pause. This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm gonna record this. Because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because anybody babies him. You gonna give him his bag and stuff?
That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row.
Actually show up and do something with him, and then dumbass mama go get on there and say 3 weeks in a row. Nigga, he's been showing up, bitch. What are you talking about? Irrational, illogical, delusional, emotional. Those are the 4 pillars of a wild bitch. This is what they live by. That's what that is their whole personality. Irrational, illogical, delusional, emotional. You tried to set this up and then try to, pause right here. This is what we're going to do, because we're going to show it every single time he does this. I'm going to record it, because this is the 3rd time that this child has cried when you showed up because he didn't want to leave. Nigga, babies do that shit all the time. Especially when the parents are separated and they like being somewhere else other than the other place. It don't have nothing to do with the father doing something with them or whatever the case may be. If you are, especially when you see what he said. He said it's because y'all baby him. And we know what that means. He didn't even have to expound on that. Clearly, they let that boy get away with everything, and they spoil him, and they do. And when you have that environment, clearly he's not want to go somewhere where a parent might be a little bit more strict, because guess who dad is? The guy who lays down the law. I think that is common sense. He not gonna let this little nigga get away with everything. So guess what? He don't want to be over there all the time, because he get to get away with every goddamn thing over at his mama house and with his granny. But she thought this was a gotcha moment. She thought this was going to be like, yeah, look at this. He's a shitty dad because he don't come and pick him up and actually do something with him. Even though this is 3 weeks in a row, this nigga done came to pick this little nigga up. And then you get to see what it was really about. Because we're talking about the same woman who said this. Please be advised. Please be advised. We're talking about a person who is a admitted predator from her own mouth and her actions. From her own mouth and her own actions. She is a predator. Listen.
I experienced the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
I experienced the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
Yeah, PJ, that's your baby mom. That's your love. That was the woman that you decided. Because it's not just her fault, it's his fault too. It is definitely his fault. Because that video, that specific video, came out before they got together. This man was probably just so amazed by the Instagram, looking at that ass. You know, she got a nice little Rumpelstiltskin back there. I don't know if she got it no more. I mean, I'm kind of looking at this video now. She don't seem like she got it too bad now these days. I don't think she kind of lost it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. She kind of lost it a little bit.
That's terrible.
Let's see if it's still. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Brittany got the same bowl back there. No. She probably been looking at herself lately. Probably been getting down about herself. Probably looking at the views on her Instagram. Probably looking at the likes. They ain't there no more. She ain't trending topic no more. These niggas not inviting her to podcasts to talk like a dumb bitch no more. Not trying to have her come and grind on Charleston White no more. She can't just put up a video and go. She had to go and try to get with Kevin Gates for a little while to try to get her name back popping. That didn't work. You tried to become a Muslim. That didn't work. You've been trying every single last outlet in the world to try to come up off of something so easily, and it has been failing because the universe does not reward you evil bitches. So now you got to walk outside when you didn't have to. He came to pick up his son at the door. He asked for the backpack. You could have gave him the bag, but guess what? You knew that he wasn't finna stand there and listen to you talk crazy all day, because he ain't got no fucking time to hear whatever the fuck you got to talk about or push whatever narrative or try to record him doing some fuck shit for some stupid internet shit. So you knew he was gonna walk away to give you the excuse to walk behind him so that you can see his wife. The woman that he actually decided to put a ring on. The woman who he champions on social media while you're still out here deprived of the person that you wish you had, because none of these niggas will ever take you seriously. And this is the problem with what people do on the internet and think that they doing something funny or doing something cool, or you think that you just talking some shit, or you so bad, you such a bad bitch that it don't matter what you say, you still gonna get these niggas. Guess what? Now you're somebody's baby mother, single, losing your fame and notoriety, losing them social media likes and comments, losing the public perception, and you gotta watch this nigga who, mind you, just signed a $90 million 4-year contract City boy with it, 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 city boy with it. Then the day after this video drops, his wife copped a $500,000 Rolls Royce Cullinan for his birthday. City boy with it, city boy with it, city boy with it, city boy with it, city boy with it. You're mad. And then you got the nerve to have mom out here acting a plum fool with your stupid ass. Watch the mama. Watch the mama.
Hey, it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had it, maybe I would. What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Suck my dick.
What did her mama think she was finna do, man?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Suck my dick.
I didn't hear you say it again. You heard it the first time. See, there's another problem too. Some of y'all don't realize y'all mamas want y'all man too. Some of y'all never realize that. Some of y'all women out there never realized that the man that y'all was with, y'all mama wanted him too. And the way that you missed out on that was because you was listening to her talk about him negatively all the time, and, you know, speaking about what he ain't doing or what type of person he is, or he ain't good for you, or you need to leave him, some type of bullshit, negative shit, just so she wouldn't see y'all together. I know some moms like that. I know some moms out there that have been secretly jealous of their daughters because their daughters grew up to be baddies and they weren't necessarily the bad bitch back in the day, who got the attention that their daughters is getting today. And then you add on social media on top of that, and maybe your daughter is getting thousands of likes from people and she's popular on social media and she's always getting compliments. And now you add into the fact that now niggas want her. And now they're coming up and trying to buy her things and spoiling her, taking her on trips and just boosting her head up. So now every time she come around you, she all extra into herself and extra dolled up, looking good as hell. You ain't never looked like that in your life. Now you start developing jealousy and animosity. Now you have animosity for your own child. And instead of trying to lead her in the right direction and trying to help give her real advice about this world, now you trying to steer her in the wrong direction, because seeing her fail is more satisfying than seeing her win. The wins that you could not obtain when you were her age. So now you're over here participating in the fuckery because you want to participate in her downfall. Let's finish this scene.
If you had one, maybe I would.
Weird ass bitch.
Pussy ass
Hey, you
bitch.
wish I would,
Pussy ass. What the fuck you looking
Oh,
at?
that's on my way, bitch.
Get your bitch ass out my driveway, ho.
Dick, you don't pay for shit.
Fuck you. You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account.
Hey, mind you, this is a white woman. Mind you, this is a white woman on the camera.
Dick, you don't pay for shit.
Fuck you. You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account.
He said, you don't pay for shit. She said, you don't pay for shit. $100,000, whoa, for your hoe? You mean his wife? You fucking dingy, jealous ass bitch. You mean his wife, nigga? Why every time a nigga don't want to be with a bitch and he go on and feel great and get in a relationship and marry a motherfucker? Now, that's not his wife. That's the hoe that he decided to marry because he didn't marry your fucking delusional, irrational, emotional, illogical ass daughter. And then go on to say $11,000 in your son's bank account. Nigga, he's 3. You don't pay for shit, but your son got $11,000 in his bank account. Hey, yo. What are we doing? Why are you in this man's pockets? It's his wife. He can spend $100,000 on his wife if he fucking wants to. And seeing as he's consistent with picking up his son, you know, like what y'all said, 3 weeks in a row, he clearly takes care of his son. So his son having $11K in his bank account and still going with daddy every week. And then wanted to stay out of her body.
$11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 for that
You don't got shit in your bank.
You see, whoo. You go back to my point. Go back to my point of what I just said about the mom and the jealousy and her wanting to live vicariously through her own child. Why are you addressing his wife? Why are you addressing his wife? And why are you addressing something that you probably read on the internet to his wife? $100,000, you pointing to her, she didn't say shit. Matter of fact, I'm glad she waited till that moment to act out of her body, because that shows you his wife's character. The whole time they out there talking shit, the whole time they out there raising their voice, talking shit, saying a whole bunch of shit to him, she quiet. She not interjecting. You wanna know why? Because that's not her place. But until you address her directly, she has every right to defend herself, say what she want to say in response. Now, I know this nigga's not a saint. PJ Washington, you are one of the richest, goofiest niggas in the world. That goes for a lot of you athletes. Rich, goofy ass niggas who will sit up here and find a bad bitch, impregnate her, and then lose your fucking livelihood because you wanted to smash a bad bitch. Niggas ain't never heard of latex in their motherfucking life. If I was an NBA coach, if I was a GM, if I was the owner, if I was an assistant coach, if I was the fucking ball boy, the nigga that run on the court and hand you Gatorade and squeeze you the ground when you niggas fall down, I will tell you first thing you do in your rookie year, first day, nigga, training camp, nigga, buy a lifetime supply of condoms and use them. I will have every gold digging woman Instagram model plastered on the wall with X's across their faces, with devil horns, all types of shit. I'm gonna be up there acting like that nigga from Half Baked who was in jail crossing out Nasty Nate. I said, 666, devil, get away from me. They would get a crash course on how not to be dumb niggas and getting these motherfuckers pregnant for nothing. That's right. Deion Sanders did that. Shout out to Deion for being way ahead of the curve. Should have been doing this shit back in the 70s. Should have been doing this shit back in the 70s. You know how many? Do you know how many athletes we would have saved who would have created mass amounts of generational wealth if we would have taught them about staying away from hoes, taking care of their finances, and not irresponsibly spending their money and investing? If we would have gave, every single athlete needs a Shaq motto, LeBron motto, Jordan motto, Kobe motto. They need all of that. They need to learn those things so that they can be on a trajectory. Because I can't, in the year 2025, any athlete, well-paid athlete, is out here still willy-nilly busting nuts in any type of bad bitch. You deserve all of the bad things that come your way from that. Because ain't no way you don't know. It's always the nigga out there that thinks he can get away with it. Thinks that he can just do some shit and it's cool. No, I got it. I'm smart. A lot of y'all niggas think that y'all smart enough to not get in the same situation as the next nigga, and then you end up in the same situation as the next nigga. And a lot of the times, it's because these girls do a good job at pimping y'all ear too. Some of these girls is good at pretending like they really fuck with you. They really will make you feel like they really ride for you. Like they'll really pretend like you just the finest thing in the world. You the greatest nigga in the world. You so great in bed. You just the almighty, all immaculate, just anything to boost your. It's the best way to get a nigga to spend anything or to do anything for you, especially put a baby in you. When he thinks that you there for him, oh man. Oh man. See, somebody like Travis Hunter, I know his girl get a bad rap, but I'm telling you right now, I'm sticking by my opinion. I think they're going to be a long-lasting relationship. And I know you niggas already have developed the narrative. You already see the social media posts. You see how people react to their relationship. I know. I heard the things that she said in the past. I heard about how they got together. I heard about how she wasn't interested in the beginning. Trust me. But I believe that y'all did such a great job of bullying this woman that she is going to ride this shit out. She is going to be on a mission to prove all you niggas wrong. She gonna make sure that ain't nobody gonna look at her crazy. She gonna have the baby. They gonna be together till they are old. We gonna see Travis Hunter later on in his career after he's retired. Big ass smile, big lip ass nigga. Just yeah, she's still right here. She's still right, just dancing, still dancing like this. She right here with me. I done told you. Y'all niggas thought she was gonna leave. Nah. And I'm gonna tell y'all out here too, all the women out here that want to get an athlete and want to be on the same shit where you are dating for generational wealth because you don't have an option to do it on your own. I'm gonna tell you like this: your best way to get that generational wealth and to keep that generational wealth is to play your part. Be a good actor. Be a good actor. If you can act for 20 plus years, you got it. You got it. There's nothing that man won't do for you. Put up a great front. You know what I'm saying? Find your corners and your little silent spots to cry because you really don't want to be with this man. He's not the love of your life for real. You just are with him because of the money and because you want to be stable in life. But then wipe those damn tears off, blow that snot out your nose, and get right back to that fucking duty of yours. Because this is what it really is. If you somebody out there that only want to be with somebody because of their money, then bitch, take it all. Take the miserable feelings, take the sadness, take the depression, bottle that shit up, eat it, fart it out, and continue to be the ain't shit bitch that you are. Because if love, real love, genuine love and care for somebody don't exist within you, I don't find you to be too much of a human. Therefore, I don't find you to be somebody who I would care that will go through hard times. I don't. I'm sorry. Does that sound cruel? Does that sound evil? I'm somebody who loves love. So I would appreciate if somebody came to me and wanted to actually love me for who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's even hard to judge. That's hard to judge. You would damn near want somebody to meet you at your lowest to know if they really fuck with you or not. Why you think T.I. and Tiny together? Because they both knew each other at low points in life and believed in each other and pushed each other and was there for each other and freaked on other people together. They know what they want. Niggas asking why T.I. is with Tiny. I know why. Not only can she suck a mean dilsy, but she's a down ass bitch at that. You can learn something from a Tiny while you talking some shit. She done had her little hiccups, you know. Little Floyd Mayweather shit. But that's because when you a nigga that got a solid woman and you keep doing fuck shit to disrespect her in certain ways, knowing that y'all niggas be fucking hoes together, nigga, the least you can do is be just as straight up and down as she is. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing about a real down ass chick. If she really down for you and you start playing games with her, she gonna play games too. That don't mean she don't love you, but she gonna play them games. Don't play around, cause she'll have your ass hurt. You better come correct. A good woman is hard to come by. Vice versa. For the women out there. Good people are hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm saying some real shit. I hope I'm not sounding crazy to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I see way past the surface level. You'll look at somebody and be like, oh, why they look like that? Or why they together? Nigga, when I got old enough to realize what people really look for in relationships when it comes to certain aspects, you start looking past what people look like and you start looking at people's character, man. Give me I'll marry a 7, a 6. Be like, why? Because this bitch will die for me. What are you talking about? Why? This shit is hard to come by. And now it's not even a thing where it's like you take what you can get, because you don't do that. That's gonna lead you to failure. You don't want to take what you can get. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about somebody that's really down for you, somebody that really fuck with you and you fuck with them, and it don't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't gotta look ugly. I don't see a 7 or a 6 as ugly. I just see them as not like the total package bad bitch. And that's okay. You don't need a total package bad bitch, because a lot of time total package bad bitches come with fucking baggage. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to speak some sense into some people out there that got to deal with certain situations like this. Because Brittany Renner is somebody who's a perfect example of what you don't need to come across. What you don't need to deal with. And a lot of these niggas deal with it. Now, let me read some of your comments, actually. I'm sorry. I'm over here talking shit and I'm not even reading. One Fast R said they got enough money they can pay for a vasectomy and get it reversed. Yeah, that's one thing. It's a misconception that a vasectomy can't be reversed, and it can. If I was in college and I knew I was a star college player and I had a promising career and I know that anything could take me up out of here, whether it be a bitch or my ACL, nigga, I'm trying to take precautions. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to train right. I'm going to make sure that I'm working certain parts of my muscles, certain things that usually happen. You know, ACL is ACL, whatever the case may be, but you can still work towards, you know, a healthier and stronger body. And then I'm going to get a vasectomy. So that when I go to the league, when I go to the big time leagues, when I go to the pros, I ain't got nothing to worry about. You're not finna get my baby. You're not finna get my money. You're not finna get a ring. I'm not marrying nobody until I start to feel like it's time to retire. Because then that's when I'm going to have the time to actually live my life. And at that point, I've already done life after the league. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to enjoy my life. That's what I feel like. I feel like that will be me. And that's what I would teach other young guys out there. Somebody clip this. Young fellas out there, young ball players, whatever sports you're in, basketball, football, soccer, baseball, hockey, whatever it is. If you have a promising career, you know where you will be in the next 5 to 10 years doing what you love. Take the proper precautions. Do not fall weak to the system of bad bitches. It's okay. You can smash a few, get it out your system, but be prepared, be safe. Don't allow them to convince you to do otherwise. Be smart, fellas. Protect your nut. Now, speaking of protection, seems like Mr. Young Thugger is going to have to get some extra protection himself because he was caught on jail calls talking way too much. That's right, Mr. Young Thug has now had his jail calls released to the public, something I feel like he didn't think was ever going to happen. Also, here's my conspiracy. I know you probably read it already or probably seen it. People probably talked about it, but when I seen somebody say, oh man, this has to be Fannie Willis, the first thing I thought about was, yeah, it has to be. It very well could be her. Because when you lose this badly, when you thought you were going to take down an entire empire, and not just lose badly, but also have some reverse shit put on you where now you're being looked at in a magnifying glass for your sexual relationships with coworkers. Conflict of interest. See, I believe it was Young Thug's legal team that released that information to the public, which inevitably reached the administration or reached Donald Trump, who went on to comment on that as well and make it even more of a spectacle and put a magnifying glass on her life and investigation on her and her dealings with her coworker. She needed to push some of that shame back where it came from. And I believe she was somebody that led the charge in getting those jail calls and having them released to the public. And on top of that, she probably called on Gunna to be the one to do it. And if I was Gunna, I probably would have. Because the more you know about the situation at hand, the more you understand why Young Thug he's a horrible person. Young Thug is a horrible person. After listening to these recordings, man, it's pretty obvious that he's a horrible person. Gunna isn't somebody who told on Young Thug to get him locked up. What Gunna did was for his plea, for him to be able to get released, and his statement could not, would not, and did not get used against Young Thug in his trial. Knowing that information and still going out there to the public and calling somebody a rat, knowing that you were on jail phone calls saying certain things, and not just that, but you have your own interrogation video out there that wasn't even an interrogation. Matter of fact, it's so crazy how he did his shit. I challenge anybody to tell me how Young Thug's version of snitching is worse or not worse than Gunna. I challenge you to tell me how Gunna's is worse. Please, somebody challenge me. Because in Gunna's situation, he's locked up. He needs to get out because he's not involved with anything that Young Thug is orchestrating outside of music. He's not part of the gang. He's not out there orchestrating hits. He's not out there doing any type of illegal activity having to do with YSL. If anything, Young Thug would want his artist to get out of jail when he has nothing to do with what's going on. See, this is the idiot mindset of a lot of these street niggas who try to live and die by some moral code that doesn't exist. You think that this man who has nothing to do with the fuck shit you're doing outside of music should sit in jail so that you can be protected? You want somebody to be loyal to you while you are showing disloyal simultaneously. No, you can't do what you need to do to get out because you're not involved with what I got going on. You can't do that, man, or else you a snitch. But bro, even if what I'm doing isn't gonna affect you in your trial, no, man, because if you talking to the police, you a rat. You going against the grain, you going against YSL. We don't do that. Only coming to find out that Young Thug was in a room that he didn't even have to be in. He wasn't even. Young Thug had every choice to leave. He volunteered information and his phone number and said, hey, call me if you need any more information. Will you please tell me what's worse? Oh, and CDTVs, we already brought that up. Question of who's releasing these calls? It's got to be Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis has to be the one releasing these calls. That's the only explanation behind it. Fannie Willis has to be the only, because she will be the person that has the most motive to want to tarnish Young Thug's reputation. When you bring a RICO case onto somebody, you feel like your case is so solid, and then everything turns upside down on you to where you have to get off the case, to where now your life is being exposed to the public because they finding out little intricate details of your personal life. You're being shamed. Yeah, Fannie Willis has all the motive to be the one to be releasing these jail phone calls right now. All of them. He has a few of them out. I don't even want to play him. I was going to play him, but I don't even want to play him. I don't really care to hear him. It's just several things, like him talking to 21 Savage and clearly recognizing the fact that Gunna wasn't a rat but still ran with it, which shows that he's a horrible person. Him talking about payola, basically how he paid Gunna's streams to be inflated so that he can get a #1 over the weekend. Also proving the fact that people be buying bots and it's not just a Kendrick Lamar thing, as a lot of outlets try to push that are in favor of Drake, the academics of the world and these other little out of the culture ass white boys who try to feed on trying to go against the grain because they want to be popular in the hip hop space when you're not of the culture. A lot of these people go on here and spread these narratives knowing that a majority of people participate in it. And then it makes you think, once again, because I thank God that I love music for music and not for how much the music sells. I have never given a single good damn about how much an album sells. How many units an album sells, especially in the first week. Do you know how fucking stupid that is? Because it is such a thing in music and in the culture for people to push first week sales, people actually think that that's fucking important, as if cult classic records don't exist. There are so many albums that have aged over the years, that have stood the test of time, that weren't popular when they first came out, but years later became something that everybody in the culture revered because of the long-lasting effects of that music and how it translated over the years to different generations. So stop telling me about a first week. How fucking idiotic do you have to be? First week? Come on now. What up, Thiz? I see you said GMS, all these rap niggas are rats. when the heat get turned up, ain't none of them gangster. And this is why I listen to niggas like Mike, why I listen to niggas like Earl Sweatshirt, why I listen to niggas like Smino, why I listen to niggas like Jid, why I listen to niggas like Freddie Gibbs, why I listen to niggas like Tyler, why I listen to niggas like Dom Genesis, why I listen to people like Mick Jenkins, why I listen to people like McGee, why I listen to people like, who else in my playlist? I listen to so many different people and artists that really care about the music and really care about the art of music and what they're making, that I don't even, that the conversation of first week sales or bots don't move me. I like music. Is it good? Nigga, did you make a good song? Did you make a good record? Was the album good? I care about that. This new generation will allow first week sales to determine whether or not they like music. That is some idiotic, robotic ass shit. Currency, excuse me. Oh my, how would I not mention Spitter? That's my favorite artist. It's in my top 5. You wanna know why? Because not only does that nigga just rap about his life and rap about the shit that he likes and that he loves and translate it to a whole mass amount of people, but he don't feed into the bullshit. He don't feed into the beefs. He don't feed into the controversy. He ain't out here doing no gimmicks. This nigga be in his backyard racing Matchbox cars. This nigga be in his driveway washing all 17 of his lowriders. Like, this nigga, you talk about somebody who is just in their own space and making music because they love it and being consistent on top of that. Currency just dropped the album. Currency has been, there's not been a single year since 2009 that Currency has not dropped a project. Multiple. There's not been one single year he has missed. There's nothing nobody can tell me about that nigga. And I think after, and this is what I mean now, because, you know, Zane brought it up. I was a kid when that type of thing was popping, as far as just loving the music and how the music sounded and why that was such a good thing for us being consumers. First week sales didn't mean nothing. As a matter of fact, albums sold a lot more back in the day than they do now. That should have been a huge conversation. Yeah, I mean, it was a convo. Like, people say, oh, yeah, you know, this album went platinum. He sold 1 million copies. Great. But people love the music. The fact that it's even a thing is brain dead to me. And I'm glad that now it's being in a magnifying glass. And you can contribute Drake as somebody who is pushing the charge to you know, get these labels exposed for using payola, but I'm paying attention to the actions. I'm not paying attention to the artist in question, because you'll be even more delusional idiot if you feel like Drake didn't benefit from having bots as well. Every single major artist on a major label has gotten their streams botted, their numbers botted, followers botted, likes botted, all of it. Which brings it back to the business. The music industry is a big billion-dollar business. So when you need to maintain a billion-dollar business, you will partake in type of activities that may seem to be unethical, aka payola, botting streams. To me, like I said, I don't care. I would be the person. I don't give a damn if it comes out that Kendrick has streams botted for Not Like Us. What would that do? Ask yourself what that would do. Would that mean he lost the battle? And if that means he lost the battle, tell me how. Because the last time I checked, bots are bots. There aren't real people, real numbers. Real people showed up to stadiums all around the world and still are. You can't tell me that botting streams is a result of that. Because if that was the case, all last year we wouldn't have had to see so many major artists cancel tours who have hundreds of millions of streams and millions of views on YouTube and social media across the board. Because if they're getting botted and their numbers are getting inflated, that means it's to translate the same way it translated for Kendrick, right? Them niggas wouldn't have had to cancel tours and cancel stadium or arena dates because they couldn't sell enough tickets. You cannot fake the impact. Now, I'm not somebody who doesn't believe in influence, because I do believe that when people see numbers, they get influenced to listen to something or get influenced to watch something, which is what the era is that we live in today. We have streamers that can go out here and review albums, and whether or not they say the album is good or not will determine the reaction from the kids that watch them. So if I'm Kai Cenat and Gunna just drops an album and I'm going through the album on stream and I'm loving it, I'm turning up, all the other kids gonna go and stream that album and say Gunna album is one of the best albums out, even if they don't like it. Kai Cenat can go and stream and listen to a whole Kendrick album and say, oh man, this album ain't for me, I don't really fuck with it. Then you're gonna have so many people on the same live, whether they like the music or not, run with the idea or run with the narrative that they push because they're influenced by him. So I believe in influence. But I also don't believe that people said, hey, Kendrick's Not Like Us did 100 million views on YouTube. Let's go and fill up a stadium to watch this. It's almost like people thought Kendrick got famous after the beef popped off. They must have forgot that he was off one of the highest grossing tours before the beef cracked. I don't know what it is. I also don't see what has affected Drake as far as negatively besides a public perception of him. Like I was just saying to somebody else the other day when they're talking about this whole defamation case. Well, defamation, if it's defamation, it has to prove that it affected you or you took losses or something happened to where it affected your life negatively in that way. You have to show where you lost money or where you lost opportunities or where certain things went down. Ever since the beef, all I've seen is steak ads and him still being the highest streamed artist in the genre. If he was being suppressed by UMG, do you think he would still be the highest streamed artist? Do you think he would still be on playlists? Do you think that he would still be charting on Billboard? Do you think that if he was negatively affected financially by Not Like Us and what it was insinuating, that he would still have a steak deal? Doesn't seem like he lost much. It seems like he's on a warpath to get his revenge for losing the battle. And I am somebody who is on the side of not Kendrick, because people got that shit misconstrued. See, I've had to defend so much shit and I've had to go in on so many different delusional ass Drake stands that people think I'm just some K-bot Kendrick stan that is out here trying to do. No, I'm not a Drake stan nor a Kendrick stan. I'm not somebody who is choosing sides as far as who I will listen to, who I won't listen to. I'm gonna listen to the new Iceman album when it comes out because Drake makes good music. What has made Drake look like the way that he looks now to the public is not just like Not Like Us, but it is his stan fan base who have not conceded, giving off that MAGA energy. Instead of being like, oh yeah, he lost the battle, niggas is every single day for over a year trying to hand this nigga Drake a W somehow. even as far as agreeing with something as pussy as suing after a battle. You cannot willingly participate in a battle and then sue because it didn't go your way. And then to hear behind the scenes how this nigga was going on and trying to stop people and stop songs from coming out, using his influence to suppress music from being released to the people because he didn't like somebody or because they had a verse going at him, is some even more pussy ass shit. And that goes for anybody in the industry that does that shit. If I find out Kendrick did some pussy ass shit like that, he gonna be a pussy ass bitch for doing some shit like that, especially how he moving right now. Suppressing niggas behind the scenes, and then you ask why niggas feel a certain type of way about him. That's why. To have the idea that niggas got up one day and just decided to switch up on Drake just because they thought it was cool is some dumbass nigga logic. Clearly, as more things continue to come out about the situation, factual information, not just weird ass narratives sprung up by these bot accounts and by these stan accounts, real actual facts about the situation coming out, it starts to open the eyes of certain people who aren't biased in this situation. I give Drake the credit he deserves where it's supposed to be. Same with Kendrick. A lot of the times you're dealing with delusional people because they want their favorite artist to be the victor in this situation. They want it to be true that Kendrick beat on his wife. They want it to be true that one of his kids are not his. The same way that Kendrick fans want it to be true that Drake is some type of pedophile or that Drake is some weirdo who does this. Like, people want to believe that he got a secret daughter. People want to believe certain shit because of who their favorite artist is. But at the end of the day, this lawsuit is only going to expose everything. Nobody's going to come out a winner of this, especially not Drake. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me take that back. What I believe is going to happen is I believe UMG is going to settle because they're not going to want to push this or extend this any longer. They want to get back to business. They're going to settle. Drake is going to get some money. And we're never going to find out the truth behind, a lot of the things that was alleged. And that's how they like it. And especially somebody like Drake. That's especially how Drake would like it. Because the narrative is already there. He already has people out there saying what's true without having the information himself. Do you realize that? You got niggas on here like this one dude, this one Caucasian man who just popped up in the culture out of nowhere because he wanted to dick ride the battle and get some type of engagement off of it. Goes by the name of What's the Dirt. What's the Dirt found out that it was profitable to become somebody who was a Drake stan and start pushing narratives and propaganda because he saw pages like Academics and whoever else was out there pushing the same type of propaganda that got them engagement and got them followers, got them subscriptions, and got them people watching their lives because stan fan bases do pay the bills. Stan fan bases will pay the bills. So he found out it was a lot more profitable to be biased and take a side. So now he's on the internet saying what's a fact because of what so many people have said. Oh, all these people and producers, all these people that have not come forward. That's the thing that shakes me when people try to say things like, oh, these people said this, these people said that, without quotes from them, without having them speak on it themselves, just saying that people behind the scenes said something happened. Oh, all these people said something happened. I won't tell you who said it. The people themselves haven't come out to say it. But me, random What's the Dirt guy who turned Drake stan overnight, is telling you that it's a fact that Kendrick beat on his wife. And that when the information comes out, we're going to see how Kendrick fans react. You mean to tell me that the information that Drake is waiting for in court to prove that Kendrick beat on his wife. You know it's for a fact. And then to taunt TDE or PG Lang to sue him if it's not true, because you want people to truly believe that you're telling the truth, is crazy. And you're doing it for the attention and the clout. And that clout is going to put you in a situation where you're going to be looking for that owl nigga to pay for your fucking legal fees, and he's not going to do that. See, what I think is, What's the Dirt got that call or that DM from Drake or somebody in OVO, and just like he's been doing with academics and Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat and these other streamers and these other guys on the internet who champion him, the malls of the world, he'll have actual behind the scenes conversations with them, knowing his influence and knowing who he is. Because he's Drake and because he's talking to these people directly, now they feel like they must report things in his favor and take his word for things when he doesn't even have the facts. So now you're taking his word because now you feel like y'all have developed a relationship. And because Drake is telling you behind the scenes that it's true and that he's heard from so-and-so that Kendrick really did so-and-so, now you're on the internet talking about it as if it's facts when you don't know that it is. So the question is still posed to you the same way you posed it to Kendrick fans. When the information comes out, whether it's true or false, how will you react if it doesn't go your way? Will you prepare yourself to get sued? Because I'm not somebody that'll sit back and act like I know some shit for a fact just because a nigga talked to me behind the scenes. If you didn't present no proof, if you didn't present no facts in the situation, I'm not finna say it's facts. I'm sorry, I'm not finna do it. Niggas been trying for over a year to hand over a consolation W to a nigga who they say is winning and the biggest artist ever and is unbothered. If Drake was truly who y'all believe him to be, half of you niggas wouldn't have created accounts in May of 2024 when the battle cracked off to try to help this nigga get it done. I'm just saying. Now, GMS fam, the Green Room, it has been a dope show. I'm sorry for the minor technical difficulties. I told y'all I'm trying to get a new computer. Them shits cost a lot. Takes a lot of saving. It takes a lot of building. It takes a lot of bread. So I'm getting to it. I'm doing what I can with what I got. We're gonna get that soon though. And appreciate y'all for pulling up. If you want to help for that cause, you can hit the Cash App. All right. If you want to help GMS get a brand new computer, desktop, you can donate whatever it is that you like, $5, $10, $2, $20, whatever it is that you want to donate to the GMS show. You can hit the Cash App, which is in the description below, or one of my people in the comments can put it up in the chat for me. Follow me on my socials right above my head. I will try to follow you back. Hit that like button on the way out, GMS fam. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Shout out y'all city, man. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know. We got to get up out of here, man. And I need to sneeze. Yes, there we go. Got to sneeze up out my body. GMS fam. What's really good? My man said the Indian Trail, North Carolina. Shout out to you, Buck Savage. I see you, family. GMS fam, where y'all at, man? I can't even see. This is how backed up and how glitched out my computer is. I can't even see how many people are watching at once, man. It's all bad. He said, fuck What's the Dirt. Yeah, fuck that nigga, man. Oh, weird ass. Nigga talk like he got peanut butter in the roof of his mouth. And no matter what, GMS fam, remember, stay away from the whores, the predators. You stay away from the predators, the predator bitches. Kawhi, he ain't do shit. Oh yeah, I heard about that, man. They say Kawhi is in some trouble. They say Kawhi is in some trouble. Once I find out some more information, we're gonna talk about that too. Probably make a video on that, but until then, free Kawhi. And I know he was in the interrogation room not saying shit. That's the nigga I want to do crime from, because I know he ain't gonna talk at all. You can't even get the lie out of his facial expression. You're gonna be stale face, no words. You want your co-defendant to be Kawhi Leonard, I promise you. Y'all niggas gonna get off. He ain't gonna have no information for you niggas. Soon as the nigga start playing good cop, bad cop, that nigga gonna turn around and say, nigga let off the most diabolical laugh of his life. Kawhi, I know you were there. I know you participated. I know you made millions off of this scam. Yeah. 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 GMS fam, the green room. It's been real. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Hope y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Pull up to 3G's tonight, 8 p.m. Don't miss it. We got a lot to talk about over there. Come see us over at 3G's, AP, Pac G, GMS, Binky. You don't want to miss it. I promise you. The best show on Wednesday nights. GMS fam, we out.